Oh, GM, Grumpy, M. Ike Strauss, the dog. You say you love superhero role playing games, but you don't talk about them more. How come? Because there's no audience. Trust me, I wish Supers was bigger than it is. I love superhero role playing games. I don't know why I love superhero role playing games, but I do. I love them more than fantasy role playing games. If you gave me a choice, Dungeons and Dragons every week or any superhero system, even a crappy one, I would pick superheroes. I just love them. I love creating them. I love playing them. I love running them. I love designing characters. I love telling comic book stories in my heads. I love comic books. But just there's it just D&D. D&D. Go to your shelves of your local friendly local game store and look on the shelves and tell me how many superhero role-playing game products you see as opposed to how many Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game products you see. So I push the fuck out of superhero role-playing games. Anytime somebody says, hey, Mike, do you want to run a game? I'm like, yeah, let's play Supers. And they're like, well, Supers? No, I want to play D&D. Fuck being a superhero. I want to be Steve the Barbarian. Now, I don't understand, and I've said this before, I don't understand why superhero role-playing games aren't more popular because Avengers. Who doesn't want to be Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man? It is the coolest fucking thing the media has created in the last 30 years. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Benedict as Doctor Strange. Talk about just freaking perfect casting and how Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man just changed everything. And the Avengers changed everything. And the MCU changed everything. But yet, when you give people a choice between Thugdar the Barbarian and Spider Guy, they will inevitably, almost always, choose Thugdar the Barbarian over Spider Guy. Because nobody wants to be a superhero. Because superheroes don't get to kill people. And superheroes don't get stuff. And sure, superheroes have way cool, amazing powers. But for some reason, that's not as cool as being able to attack twice with my +3 sword or cast an 8d6 fireball. But really, it's superheroes wear silly costumes because there's nothing silly about a chainmail bikini. Superheroes don't kill, and superheroes don't get to take stuff. So there's no EXP and stuff in superhero role-playing games. You don't get to end the day with your 500 gold pieces and your +1 sword like you do in D&D. You don't get to min-max and kill villagers like you do in 5th edition because superheroes is always about being something better. It's about being Captain America and Superman, not about being a murder hobo. And people like D&D. D&D is in the public eye. Not that superheroes isn't, because fuck, Crisis just finished on the CW, and that was amazing. Brandon Routh as Superman again was just breathtakingly amazing. And Avengers is still huge. PJ Masks is still huge. If you go to any department store and look at what is the most merchandise product, it is superheroes. But nobody wants to play a superhero because they're not cool. And why aren't they cool? Because superheroes don't get to kill and superheroes don't get to take stuff home. Which, of course, if you have read any comic book, you know is bullshit. Superheroes kill all the fucking time. Superman has killed people. Batman has killed people. Captain America fought in World War II. Of course he killed people. Wonder Woman has been around since the Greek times. Of course she killed people. Green Lanterns kill people. You know, Wolverine kills people all the time. His power is literally, I have razor blades on my arms. The Punisher's power is guns. He kills people. Spider-Man kills people. Superheroes kill people all the time. You have a giant superhero battle in New York where glass is breaking all over the place and buildings are falling over and there's fire and the Flash is running through the town at the speed of sound. I assure you, people are getting killed. So the fact that superheroes don't kill, that's bullshit. They don't want to kill because they want to be better than the villains they're fighting. But superheroes have killed. Superman has killed. Batman has killed. Spider-Man has killed. Captain America fought in World War II. He killed people. He didn't like it. He wasn't a murder hobo, but he did it. And as for superheroes don't get stuff, there's no reason for being a superhero. I don't make money. And I don't get stuff. Well, merchandising shows us that, yeah, superheroes make bank because you need bank to support the superhero lifestyle. And as for not taking stuff, have you ever actually seen the Fortress of Solitude or seen the Batcave? The Batcave is literally filled with stuff Batman took off of his enemies. He's got a giant frickin' penny and a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, both of which he took off enemies. Half the stuff in his utility belt is stuff he stole from enemies. His Batman freeze pellets, stole from Mr. Freeze. His Batman fear bombs, he stole from the Scarecrow. Batman steals shit all the time. Superman's Fortress of Solitude is filled with trophies of things he stole from villains. Evidence that could have been used in court cases against these villains is stored in Superman's Fortress of Solitude. Avengers Mansion is filled with stuff that they have captured and keep. Fuck, Tony Stark regularly goes on rampages to make sure nobody else has his technology, so he is the only guy that has his stuff, so he can say, well, I'm doing it to protect the world because people are using my armor and my technology wrong, but it's really just because I'm the only guy who wants to get my stuff. Nobody else gets my stuff but me. So, superheroes not getting stuff? Yes, superheroes get stuff. Superheroes kill. Superheroes have awesome powers like, oh, I don't know, ice powers, shape changing, stretching, super speed, sonic scream, teleportation. All that shit's in D&D. It's better than D. This is better than D&D. And consistently, superhero role-playing systems are usually as good or better than D&D. But that's not what people want to play. They want to play fantasy. So why don't I talk more about superheroes? Because then I would have less fans and less followers than I have now. And I think I have, 6 followers now, if you count Robert, who's been my follower since day one. Shout out to Robert. So, yeah, why don't I talk more about superhero role-playing games? Why don't I talk about the superhero role-playing games I created, I play-tested, I wrote, I was a part of? Why don't I talk more about my relationship with people like Jeff D. or Jack Herman or Mike Poundsmith or Jay Willis or Jay Winifred or Mike Thompson or TJ? Because if people have a choice between wanting to play this and wanting to play D&D, nobody wants to play this. Nobody wants to play Star Wars. You know how hard I try every week to get people to play Supers or anything else. But even the few times I've played Supers, they've played it as murder hobos. I'm going to fucking kill the guy and slam his eye in the thing and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, you're a superhero. Why are you doing that? There you have millions of other ways to resolve this problem other than killing somebody, but you're thinking like a D&D player. And you're thinking like the worst kind of D&D player. Murder hobo. Well, you don't get experience points in superhero games like you do in D&D. This is a level-based game. Of course you get experience points. How many times have you heard Captain America or Batman say, I wouldn't have lost that fight except for my years of experience allowed me to beat this guy? Experience points. Totally superheroes are level-based. Batman wins because he's higher level than you. Cap wins because he's higher level than you. So, bam! That is why I do not talk more about superhero role playing games than I do. I would love to talk about them till the day. I would love to just sit here and video myself making supervillains and superheroes and creating a superhero world. But would you watch that? Or would you watch me bad mouthing Critical Role? You'd watch me bad mouthing Critical Role. So that's why I don't talk about Super. As for my personal experience, I have play tested or written for or written product for Villains and Vigilantes, Heroes Unlimited, every version of Marvel, a bunch of D20 superhero games that came and went during the OGL, and a bunch of small press superhero role-playing games, some of which never saw the light of day, others of which became something else. This was my main love along with Marvel. This is the game I did the most work for. There's tons of characters and tons of stuff that I created that was published in magazines and in Giant and whatever. But there's no market for superheroes now. Otherwise, I'd be doing superheroes. Trust me, I assure you, I would be talking and playing and supporting this to the day ended, but there's no market. Nobody cares about superhero role-playing games when they're having Dungeons and Dragons constantly shoved down their face thanks to Matt Mercer and Critical Role. D&D sells. Superhero games don't sell. Comic books sell, superhero movies sell, but superhero role-playing games, for reasons I don't understand, don't sell. You would think because of the Avengers, people would be like, yeah, I fucking want to play a game where I can be Iron Man. But they're like, no, I fucking want to play a game where I can wear full plate mail, shoot magic beams out of my hand, and hit somebody with my energy sword. Which is fucking Iron Man, you idiots! But it's not D&D. So, yeah, that's why I don't talk more about this. But I will! That's what you guys want. I'll talk about superhero role-playing games with the day. Super Shazam!